morning, fellow Toastmasters. How's everyone doing today? Good.
Morning.
I call this meeting of Lake Mary Toastmasters 6440 to order. Before we begin, please silence your cell phones. I would also like to ask everyone to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Our club mission is to provide a supportive learning environment in which members feel empowered to be better public speakers through competent communication and leadership skills. Today, our Toastmaster is someone who has been involved in a number of different fields, including orchestra, church events, and a number of fundraisers. And today I would like to introduce you to Kerri.
All right. Morning. Our theme for today is Today in History. Just thought it would be fun to see what has gone on throughout the years on this day, September 15th. But before I get into that, I do want to introduce our technical table. Filling in for our counter today is Courtney Frickles.
Master Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters. My role today as the counter is to listen for the use of filler words such as you know, so, okay, and other audible pauses and fillers. Great, yes, watch out for great. I'll make a column for that. You don't need if members perform any double clutches as well, which means you say things twice, such as this means, this means. Finally, I'll also include things that might be distracting, such as lip smacks. I'll present my report at the end of the meeting. Thank you.
And our timer today is Dana Mitchell.
All right. Okay, let's do this. My function is to time the speakers, evaluators, and table topic participants, and Stephanie, to ensure they meet the timing requirements. I will demonstrate the timing lights, which will be displayed as follows. On the general speakers, that's 5 minutes. Yellow, 6, 7, red, and at the red you have 30 seconds, right? At 7.5 or you're disqualified. Table topics, 30 seconds, at 45 seconds, and 1 minute. And evaluators, 2 minutes, 2.5, and 3, you get the hook, right? So it's good, 3.5, you're gone. So, thank you.
And our grammarian today, Stephanie Moore.
I have 2 functions, Madam Toastmaster, today. I will introduce the word of the day, innocuous. It is an adjective. It means, not harmful, innocent, all of that stuff. Innocuous. Okay? I apologize that it didn't get to you in time. I have a problem with Windows 10. It dropped half of my email address, so I get and don't, and it doesn't. So I apologize. And then I will also be listening for grammatical errors and faux pas. So what Jorge doesn't catch you on, I will. Word of the day, 25 cents if you speak and don't use it. I will also look for extraordinarily colorful language. And I'll give you my report at the end of the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so here are some events that happened on September 15th. In 1616, the first non-aristocratic free public school opened in Europe, in Italy. And in 1920, going back to our last week's topic, the Mayflower actually departed Plymouth, England.
Thank you.
And in 1656, England and France signed a peace treaty. In 1812, the French army under Napoleon reached Moscow. In 1830, the first person to be run over by a railroad train in England. In 1853, the first U.S. woman ordained as a minister. They'll go on to.
That's train wrecks.
Fun facts. So, that will go on to our first speaker. Our first speaker for today is giving us his icebreaker. Please welcome James Harris.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, you ever had a really bittersweet moment? Back in 1976, I was in the hospital. I got a biopsy. And on that day, I was told that my wife was pregnant, we're gonna have a baby. The house that we bid it on was getting it for nothing down. And then came the bad news. The doctor said, you have a disease and you could die. I cried, literally, just like, oh my God, what's going on? But after the cry, it was like a flower blossoming. It was like, it's gonna be okay. I'm all right. You ever feel like crying? Just go ahead, get it over with. Defining moments from wrestling matches. It's my title. I wrestle with God. I wrestle with the cow. I wrestle with the blind kid. I wrestle with the ice cream truck. I was a wrestler in high school. We were New York State champions, 1970, 1966 and 67. But back in 1970, 76, 75 actually, I had this discussion with God because out of all these years, I hadn't seen him yet. You know, the way he had talk to me, say something. Show me your presence. Everybody says I've had these conversations, you know, they have these premonitions and revelations. I need to have one. What nerve, right? So lo and behold, about less than a year, I had Hodgkin's disease. I said, oh my God. I see you now. I saw the flowers, you know, the sky is so nice and clear and blue, smiles on people's faces. Everything is just great. Having a baby, got a brand new house. Everything that happened in life suddenly took on a whole new meaning. There was no innocuous feelings. Years earlier, though, I remember as a kid, we grew up in the country. I got 10 brothers and sisters, South Carolina. My mother had given me an assignment. She's going to work. She says, I want you to move the cow while I'm going to work. I said, okay. But it just so happened I forgot to move the cow. And she came home, like suddenly. The whole day is gone. She said, you move the cow? I says, oh yeah. I lied. So my plan was to run over the hill and move the cow before she got there. But just so it turns out, it really didn't matter. When you tie a cow to a tree or something in the ground, it needs a circle right around it. Clean, clear, dead giveaway. So she said, go get me a switch. You got to get a whipping. She said, I'm not whipping you because you didn't move the cow. I'm whipping you because you lied. That was a defining moment. Always try to tell the truth, especially to mama. Years later, I was on a wrestling team in New York. I wrestled in the 8th grade, And then I skipped the 9th grade, went to the 10th grade. As a sophomore, I lost every single match. I said, gee, I don't know whether this is the right sport for me or not. I had close matches. But the defining moment was my very last match. I'm gonna win this match. I was promoted to the varsity B team, and the team that came in was a blind school. All the kids were blind. I said, I know you're laughing, but there was a requirement. You had to hook up and kind of touch each other. Whenever you broke apart, they would blow the whistle, make you go back and touch each other again. Well, anyhow, I'm gonna win this match, my friends are there, I lost to a blind kid. That was a defining moment. Never underestimate anybody, blind, crippled, color, female, whatever. You take them as face value, you evaluate the situation, and then you move forward. And lift them up. Lift people up. Be nice to people. Then I wrestled with the ice cream truck. My first job out of high school. Well, that's actually my second job. My first job was in a factory, and we were welding all these wires together. It was hot, and it was just nasty, it was dirty. And I said, this is what life's gonna be like? and I made like $1 an hour, $40 a week, before taxes. After taxes was like, $30-something. I said, I can't do this. I saw this ad in the paper. They said, could a human man make $125 a week? I said, wow. I can do that. So I went home and told my mama, I quit my job. You quit your job? Was you going to college in September? Yeah. I said, I can't make enough money making $36 a week to do anything with it. She said, okay. Long story short, I went to the human factory, they gave me a truck, and I told them that I could drive a stick shift. And I really couldn't. I had been practicing, but I hadn't gotten there yet. I'm in the driveway, and like for 15 or 20 minutes, I'm jamming the first thing is cutting off. Crank it up and it just cut off. The guy came out, he looked at me, he saw that I was very determined to drive this truck. I got it out the driveway. When the day was over, I was a brand new good human man, and I did make $125 a week and up. It was great. Defining moments. Every moment we live is a defining moment. Use every moment as an opportunity to do something good, to recognize that today we live, today we love, tomorrow we die. Madam Toastmaster.
While you were looking down.
1 minute.
Okay. Some more fun facts of things that happened on September 15th. In 1904, Wilbur Wright made his first airplane flight. In 1946, the Dodgers beat the Cubs 2-0 in 5 innings. The game was called because of gnats.
Really?
In 1949, The Lone Ranger premiered on ABC TV.
That's a good show.
In 1961, the 61st U.S. Golf Amateur Championship was won by Jack Nicklaus. In 1965, Lost in Space premiered. I like the TV premieres, how it goes with my advertising job. So, in 1966, the Gemini 11 with Conrad and Gordon returned to Earth. And in 1971, the first broadcast of Columbo on NBC TV. And our next speaker, our speaker 2 for today, with his speech entitled "It's So Easy," please welcome Stephen Morgan.
You've been hearing week after week, getting the emails about using Easy Speak, and so many of you keep complaining, don't know how to do it, you don't get to complain anymore.
Right.
For those of you who haven't quite caught on yet, Easy Speak was designed as a way to help all of us, and the clubs in particular, be able to keep track of things a lot more easily. There are other options out there besides Easy Speak. This one is not supported by Toastmasters. The one that is, toastmastersclubs.org, I've used that one. I don't like it. I much prefer what Easy Speak provides. Although that's not to say I don't have criticisms of it, I do. But what it does provide for us, first of all, everyone who is a member has an account on Easy Speak. If you haven't gotten the email or lost it that has your password, ask Gus, or if you can't find Gus, ask me to reset your password. You will get an email with your password. You can change your password. If you don't like your username, you can change your username. But when you get the email each week, it should be coming out each week, that says, please respond, if you haven't already, to say if you're coming to the meeting. I'm currently logged into Samuel's account, so that you will get to see what it looks like for the typical person. Since I'm an admin, it would look different on my account. When you come to today's meeting, this is what it would usually look like. And you'll see the people who have already said they'll attend on the left, and those who have confirmed on the right, including their information for the speakers. When we go to a future week, you'll have visibility into what will be going on into that week. Samuel is already set for Sergeant at Arms, which is why, being his account, he can come in and with the green up thumb or red down thumb say, I'm going to do this role or not, or to attend the meeting or not.
I'm coming.
You're coming. So he can click on the green up thumb to say, I'm coming, and it'll confirm that you're doing that one, and the same for each of the roles as well. Now you won't have to get the email that'll be generated when Gus sends it out. You said you were going to be Toastmaster on the 15th of October, was it not?
No, it was Macarena.
Oh, okay.
According to
That's but this one, yes. This is further ahead, we get to see what has been set. And some of these, the meetings themselves are created by Gus as VP Ed when he goes ahead and sets it up for each week. There will be a point where you'll see there's no more meetings going forward. He just hasn't created them yet. If you have a desire for a specific role that has not yet been assigned and is listed as available, then you'll be able to click on it in this screen here. If you want to request a specific speech, which hopefully you are planning ahead as to when you'll be speaking, as to opposed to waiting when you're told to speak. When you click on the request a speech button like I did, this pops up. You can put in your title, whatever your title may be, the introduction you wish the Toastmaster to use for you, and a good planned introduction will do wonders. In the workbook speech tab, you get to choose which manual you're working on and which project you're working on. That helps the Toastmaster prepare the agenda, that helps you prepare for the speech itself. And then you can choose which dates you want to give that speech. Up to 3 choices provided for second or third. Gus then takes in those requests into account, puts people into the schedule where they would like to be or where he can make them fit. If you are not going to be present at a meeting, you go to that particular meeting in the calendar, you get to go ahead and sit thumbs down saying, I'm not going to be there. When you say you're not going to be there, it will not allow you to be scheduled for a role for that meeting. You get to plan ahead and prepare. It looks a little different when you are actually the Toastmaster for the meeting. It'll look more like what I get when I'm doing my admin. Since I'm the Gus's backup, I get to see things a little differently. I actually see places where I could take people out of roles, assign people to roles, change the speech information if needed, and say who was actually present or not. Now, who here has not gotten an Easy Speak yet? Anybody yet? Everyone's had their opportunity. Except for James. We need to add him in. When you have the opportunity as well, if you want to see what you have done in the past, or take a look at some of your information, you can change your username here in your profile or your email address as needed. Under the Toastmasters tab here, you can see the speeches you have given in the past. It keeps the history. This is where the real advantage of Easy Speak often comes in. Can't remember what you did or when, didn't get it into the manual property or lost your manual, here's your information. If you desire to change your image or picture within your profile, you can add it in the images section or any other personal information, your phone number, so that we have it straight in case we've lost track of it. The whole point of this is to make this as easy as possible, reduce the effort that you have to go through to help us keep the communication strong. Because when we have the meetings prepared, we get to start on time, everyone is ready and knows what they're doing. The Toastmaster is not running around going, who's coming and who's not. And when you're the one who's going to be Toastmaster, you're going to very much appreciate having the information already there available for you. It reduces the time you have to do getting a hold of everybody, preparing the agenda, wondering what's going on. So when you find that innocuous email in your inbox, and the one that has a little click saying, are you coming to the meeting? Please take the moment at least to click on it. When you know you're going to speak and you have something ready or you're planning or thinking ahead, go and request the speech, request the dates, know which project you're going to do. Plan ahead, you'll be getting yourself set and you'll be helping us get ourselves set. And if you have any questions, Gus is your first point of contact as the Vice President of Education. I'm the backup since I was the one doing it right before him. I already had the access to do it. If you have any questions, by all means, speak up and ask, because we want it to be easy, so let's make it easy.
One round of applause for evaluations.
But you have a show and tell.
Show and tell.
Yeah, that's what.
Show and tell.
In 1981, the U.S. Judiciary Committee unanimously approved Sandra Day O'Connor for the U.S. Supreme Court. In 1982, Pope John Paul II received PLO leader Yasser Arafat. In 1985, Willie Nelson had his Farm Aid concert. In 1988, Les Miserables opened in Vienna. In 1990, the Florida lottery went over $100 million. In 2000, the 27th Olympic Games opened in Sydney, Australia on the 15th. And in 2014, President Obama announced the U.S. will send 3,000 troops to help combat the spread of the Ebola virus. And our third speaker today, so at the beginning of the year, distinguished Toastmaster Julia Kaufman shared with us her plan to implement Hal Elrod's Miracle Morning routine every day. Julia will share with us her progress and what she has learned thus far. Please welcome Julia.
Good morning, Toastmasters.
Good morning.
Last December, I heard a speech by Hadi, and he talked about a book called The Miracle Morning. Some of you may have heard me speak about the book. I had also heard Ernst recommend it. So last December, I bought the book and I read it, and January 1st, I started my New Year's resolution and following the plan in the Miracle Morning. So I thought I'd give you an update as to where I am 9 months later. Am I still doing the Miracle Morning? How has it impacted my life? And what recommendations could I give you about the book so far? Well, I'm happy to say 9 months later, I'm still doing a Miracle Morning. It's innocuous, it's helpful. I wake up at 4:30. Now, don't panic here. I happen to go to work at 7. So I'm an early person by nature. I like to walk my dogs. Many of you know I have a whole menagerie of animals at my house. So I get up in the morning and I start my Miracle Morning. The first thing that I do is I walk my dogs, and I've incorporated that walk and the principles that Hal recommends you do in the form of lifesavers. So the SAVERS is an acronym for the handrails to start each morning. The first thing he recommends is to start with silence. Now, he recommends doing this lifesaver in 1 hour. You can do it as short as a minute for each area. I do take that hour. The first thing I do is silence. Well, what does silence mean? It's basically meditation, prayer, whatever calms you each morning. I do that while I walk my dogs. Now, I have a new puppy, so it's not quite as calming. I can walk 3 dogs at one time at 4:30 in the morning. But during that time, I will tell you, as James mentioned about you wrestling with faith in God, I spend that time and I pray. I pray to God. Now, sometimes I hear him and sometimes I don't, but it gives me that opportunity that I've never had in my life about prayer. I've never prayed before until this year. And I'm getting red in the face. I can't tell you what the impact it has had with me. So that time I walk, it's that meditation, that silence, it's just putting yourself at ease and praying and what you're thankful for. The next thing is called affirmations. Again, I didn't even know what affirmations really were until now. And in his book, he talks about stating positive things, those affirmations. And through the book, he gives affirmations every day that you read, and sometimes they are impactful, other times they're not. In his book, he gave recommendations and examples of affirmations. So I put together my affirmations and my planner. Don't panic, this is my Bible. So I have in my goals, I say my morning affirmations. I'm not going to read it. It could be as 1 page, it could be a paragraph. It happens to be a few pages that I kind of ripped off from Hal. But I also added my own about what makes it important to me, about what my goals are, what my dreams are, what's important to me, what I aspire to be. So those are my affirmations. The next step is visualization. They suggest doing a map, a visual map of what you dream, what you want to aspire to. Rich does that a lot with physical fitness. What do you aspire? What's your goal? And see it. And I do that in my head. I see, and a lot of people know, a log cabin. So my property. My dream is to build a log cabin. I see it. I see myself drinking my coffee on my porch overlooking the mountains. I see my daughters graduating from college. That's important. So I see Amanda walking down the graduation and getting her diploma. I visualize that. It's important. I know Hadi had mentioned doing that with his aspirations, and it came true. So I'm a firm believer that that happens. When you see it, it'll happen. The next thing is exercise. Exercising is so key to your morning routine. It just gets your blood and your body pumped up and everything. So part of my exercising, I include the dog walking, although it's not very aerobic because they sniff and stop most of the time. But I also do jumping jacks. So I do 110.
What?
So this is funny, I'll share. So I have this routine. It's all about a routine in the morning, right? So I've got this schedule. So after I've walked the dogs and I've fed the dogs and everybody's happy, the cats, I get my coffee. So then I do my little K-cup and I have a contest. Can I get my 110 jumping jacks before my coffee is made? So there. So I do that in like a minute and a half. I can do my jumping jacks, and I do 110, Rich, just to be, you know, 100%, right? So I took his lessons. I highly recommend them. So he is inspired me. The next thing is reading. Well, that's easy for me because you know I work for Scholastic. I love to read. So that's like, oh, I can't wait to get my jumping jacks done because then I get to read. So I do 20 minutes of reading, and the last part is scribing. And I never wrote in a journal or a diary or anything like that, but it's similar to that. And I bought his journal because what I like about it, it's the handrails. Every day you mark and you give a few lines to write what you want to write. So I've done that since January 1. I've written in this book every day, except for when I moved my daughter to FIU. I didn't do it that weekend. But I'll give you some examples I'll share with what I planned. So first week, Saturday the 3rd. My morning started great. Nicole woke up and had written her thank you notes proactively. I'm so thankful for my family. Amanda is on track to attend FIU. She received her acceptance letter today. I'm looking forward to going to a party tonight. That's it. I don't know if there's any rules about what you write, but I just, whatever is off the top of my head. Month 3, March. Oh, and each time they give you an affirmation, I think, act, and feel like a winner I am. My thoughts. I sure hope reading all these affirmations work. Spending time with my dad last night is so important to me. I will make sure to spend more time with him and make sure the girls do too. Tonight is bowling, and I'm looking forward to a fun night. Usually it's always a party related I'm looking forward to. And then month 8, this is last month, Tuesday. Busy day with Toastmasters and work. I need to figure out how to arrange my work or adjust it to be more productive. I'm struggling to stay organized and efficient. Thank you, God, for all the blessings in my life. And I typically always think I'm thankful for my life. And what's interesting is that you can go back and read, and I don't know about you, but I don't have a very good memory. So when I go back, I think about, wow, I did that, or we did this, and it really is fun to go back and read. So I highly recommend taking a look. If you want some guidance or to get your day started in a really uplifting way, take a look at Miracle Mornings by Hal Elrod. Look at the lifesavers, and I promise you it will make your day start out wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. Sounds great.
now time for table topics. So I'd like to bring up our table topics master, Ernst.
Thank you so much. Pardon? 20 questions? Oh. The theme today is Today in History. There's a proverb which goes like this. We do not learn from history, we are destined to repeat it. This is not just an innocuous statement, but one which has caused people great harm, such as we have heard this so many times. This is my 4th speeding ticket. I'm on my 5th weight regimen. Or my credit cards have topped out again. I just paid them off 4 months ago. What have we not learned? As a country, we're about to make a huge mistake again on the world stage in regards to the Iran nuclear deal. By not having learned from history what Neville Chamberlain, the British foreign minister, learned dealing with Adolf Hitler. Who is good in history?
Yes.
Mr. Timer. Question is, how does the Neville Chamberlain action apply to the Iranian nuclear deal? Dana.
Well, thank you. Well, because he came back with a piece of paper on the plane and said, I have this document signed by Adolf Hitler, who was the Time Man of the Year in 1935, believe it or not. He said, so we have peace forever in Europe. So, because the Iran nuclear deal is just another piece of paper that some people signed and said, our name on this means we're not going to do anything wrong. So it's naive and does not look at recent history, because 1939 was not that long ago. Thank you.
Very good. What is one of the biggest lessons you have learned from history? Stephen.
Mr. Table Topics Master, if you hadn't caught in recent years, there has been revelations as to what Neville Chamberlain was facing when he made that pact with Hitler. It was classified information that the British government has only recently released. And in it reveals that Neville had no illusions that this deal was in any way going to bring peace. That was the public face that he had to put forward. He was very well aware that war was likely present, but what he also knew and what his military advisors knew was Britain could not afford a war. They could not, at that point in time, take on Germany. The point of the pact that he made was to buy Britain time. Britain time so that when the inevitable was going to happen, they were going to be better prepared. That may be a very possible way to look at the Iran deal. There's nothing good about it. There was never going to be anything good about it. But the moment Iran said, we're going to talk, our leverage was gone. Because the whole point of the sanctions was to get them to sit down and talk. We were going to have to give away something to get to this point. Okay, we're going to have to give away some things. It's not good. It's not great. But it is an opportunity for Iran to show if they're going to follow it. We're going to be watching closely. And the alternative is if we throw it away, what have we left? Iran will have no reason not to start ramping up. China and Russia will be quite happy to go ahead and start trading because we weren't serious. So it's not good. It's not going to be in any great opportunity, but it is an opportunity to try. And it's at least giving it a chance because the alternative is worse. Mr. Tabletop.
Here, here. On both sides, it was an outstanding response.
Yes.
I'd now like to bring up our general evaluator, Chamberlain.
Samuel! Yes.
Toastmasters, Toastmaster, guest. Today is the not so innocuous portion of our meeting. There may be some burns, there may be some cuts, there probably will be some bruising, but it is okay, because it is all here to help you grow. So to make those bones a little bit bigger, we're going to break them for you. To start that off, we have, for our first, the humorous and yet gentle Gus Davis.
Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters and guests, and to you, James Harris. This was your icebreaker. And thank you for giving us defining moments. There was no way I will say your speech was not innocuous. It was, we're getting in there. Let me point out some of the things that are your strong points in your speech. You were well dressed, you were very winsome, if I can use that word for you. You stood here and you really commanded our presence. You followed a basic outline. There was an opening, and your opening was with a question. You had a question for us, and then you made a statement. And you narrated the defining moment. One of the questions here in evaluating the icebreaker, did the speaker reflect adequate preparation? Don't you think it did? Yeah. You clearly did reflect adequate preparation by giving us names of people, of places, and dates and times. That will let you have a visual. South Carolina, New York, in the hospital. You got us into a place that we can clearly visualize what you were talking about. You also narrated in the body the defining moments. You let us know about you were sick in the hospital. You're trying to seek God, and you see God in your sickness. You talk about your family, your first child. You talk about your house, your job. And he was excited when you went on to talk about your first job. You know, I really like the one about the ice cream truck. You still drive a stick shift, but you made that very clear as a defining moment in your life about the welding shop. You let me sense and feel when the welding was going on, the heat, the lights, and all of that. So you made it very, very clear that I can feel that moment. Did you get something out of when he talked about the wrestling match that he lost to a blind competitor? So those defining moments let us get to know you. One of the points of the speech is how did the audience, Toastmasters, get to know you? We really know about your defining moments and what you've been able to achieve. What could the speaker have done differently that would improve? You can have a little bit of movement. One of the things you always have to be aware when you're speaking here, if you come in front of the lectern, sometimes you lose the people here. So in your movement, try not to be too front so that you can own the space that we have. Give some more pauses in between your defining. Just pause for a moment and wait. Vocal variety. There was a moment where you were low and you were loud. You can try to get good inflection in your voice. When you're expressing something, you can be loud or low. In total, it was a great speech. I'm looking forward to more speeches. Madam, Mr. General Evaluator.
Up next, we got ourselves a little bit of a nuclear deal. We have Mike Hughes evaluating Steve Warnick.
No, they're good. I got to evaluate Steve. Everyone loves this job because it's hard to perfect perfection. So, speech, what was it about? You had to research, give a visual aid, make sure the audience understands what you're supposed to talk about. You did an excellent job. You picked something that we all should know about. Some of us choose not to, some of us choose to. Examples were clear and concise. You really can't argue with point here, click, here, point here, click. We could all see it, very easy to see. You were very knowledgeable since you kind of created it, but Was it well researched? Obviously. Organized, clear, concise. You researched it, helped plan. What else was there? Let's go with recommendations, since we love the Oreo method. Use a memory trick. Because I know as soon as I walk out that door, I'm going to forget 80% of everything said in here. If we could have some kind of an acronym or a jingle or something that says, because somebody else gave us little things, lifesavers to remember us by. Now, should we all know this by now? Yes, we should. Are we choosing not to? Maybe innocuously we are. So, I think you did an excellent job, and I look forward to your next speech. That's you. Of course it's me.
For our final evaluation, we have Macarena Torres.
Thank you. It takes a while to get up here from all the way back there. Julia. Like you said, it's hard to perfect perfection. It really is. I remember when Julia, we worked together, for those who don't know, and at the beginning of every production meeting, we have to give a book talk. Once upon a time, Julia gave this specific book talk, Miracle Morning. I remember it was December, January, when you gave this book talk, and she talked about the book and told us that she was committed to doing it, that she was going to start following everything that was in the book. It's hard to believe it's 9 months later and that she has committed to it, she's been following it, and it's so inspirational, so motivational to hear the effects, the positive effects that it's had on your life. I absolutely loved hearing about your personal life, how it's affected your personal life in a positive way. Now to the evaluation. Her speech was get to the point. The speaker was to prepare a speech that has a clear general purpose, to inform, persuade, entertain, and inspire. Did you achieve that? Absolutely. You had excellent use of visual aids, and I absolutely loved the fact that you had it in front. Visually, the letters were big, the words were readable, and you took us through each and every letter and dove into, like I said, your personal life and how you described each and every point on the display. You used no notes. You were very confident speaking. And as you were talking, I could visualize everything that you were saying. Could anybody else? Walking the dog, praying at night, the log cabin. I felt like I was there, sipping coffee on the log cabin as you were describing this. It was absolutely amazing. You did a wonderful job. You're getting better and better and better each and every time I hear you speak. She's my mentor. I absolutely love her as a mentor. She's helping me grow, and I just cannot wait to hear your speeches in the future. Thank you so much for that.
The apprentice takes on the master. I
Whoa.
like it. Now, for the rest of you, let's start off with our timer. Let's see how we did on our keeping track of the meeting and all the other good stuff there. What do you got there?
We got it. We got it. So today would be like riding the edge for our speakers. Because they all had really allotted 7 minutes maximum, right, or so, you know. And, well, so James, excellent job, wonderful speech, 7:27. Woo. Stephen, 7:15. Julia, 7:29.
Wow.
Yeah. Dana, I don't know how long it's on. Stephen, 1 minute 30. Gus, 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Mike, as always, nice and brief. You had 3 minutes, you used 121.
That's all I did.
Macarena, 3 minutes, 2 minutes and 35 seconds. We're done. Table time.
Thank you.
Table time. Oh, yeah, this is good too. It was just us.
What was
You
your
wanna do
times?
two? Yeah, 1 for me and 1:30 for you.
Okay. Thank you. And moving on with the technical kit table to our odd counter.
Thank you. I did forget to mention at the start, there is an innocuous fine of 5 cents for every infraction. Starting out with Toastmaster Kerri, I heard 2 so's, 2 ands. Dana, 2 uhs, 1 you know, 3 so's. James, 3 likes, 1 you know. Stephen, 2 so's. Julia, 2 ums, 3 so's, 3 tongue clicks. Ernst clean. Gus, 2 you knows. Mike, 2 uhs, 1 so. 1 kind of is 1 tongue click, but it was a rapid fire set of tongue clicks.
So nuclear weapons.
The training.
And Macarena, 1 and, 2 tongue clicks, and 1 double click. That's my report for today.
Whoa.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm glad Jorge got y'all because you were good for me today. I'll start with those who use the word of the day correctly. Mike is Samuel. I think you had the best use of the word of the day. Ernst, word of the day. James, word of the day. Stephen, word of the day. Julia, word of the day. Gus,
Yeah, you failed.
50 Cent. Now, not too much incorrect usage of grammar. I will tell you those that I did. Stephen, a lot more easily. I think you mean a lot easier. Julia, I like the handrails. Macarena, I want to visualize Julia sipping coffee on a log cabin too. On her veranda, I know. And you had such flavorful language, I couldn't capture all of the rest of it. And apprentice takes on a master. And I'm done with my report.
As a general evaluation of the meeting, I'd say this is a great way, or a great example, excuse me, to demonstrate how to make, I know you hate the grades, an excellent way. How's that? An excellent demonstration of what a meeting should be, even with speeches that are extra long. Our evaluators did a good job. Gus, Macarena, Mike, loved them. The only recommendation that I would have, whenever we're doing our technical table, make sure that you are very focused on the job. This way we don't leave out the little details, or to make sure that we are keeping track of the time, that we hold up the cards the entire time that we hit the green, yellow, the red. Everything was done phenomenally. Great job, guys. Just little recommendations. Alright, and that is my report. And now I would like to bring up our MASM president, Julia Kaufman.
Great meeting, love them. All right, and I have 5 minutes so that we will be on time when we adjourn. First and most important, I'd like to welcome our returning guest, BJ. Let us know what you thought of today's meeting and any general thoughts. Please stand up and.
I'm sure I wasn't going to have to speak today.
You gotta sign up.
I'm not a great listener, but I listen here, which really speaks well of all of you. You're amazing. I'm kind of intimidated, just a little, not intimidated, I don't know if that's the right word. You know, you have a little head knock talk going on, like, wow, am I gonna be able to do what they did? And I just caught that off. But it's wonderful. I can see the practice and the attention to detail, and I enjoy listening to the stories. So
Welcome.
thank you, and I really enjoy it.
Well, welcome. Speaking of a new member that kept coming back, doesn't feel like a new member because he's been a previous Toastmaster, but he did his Icebreaker today as a new member to our club. Please welcome James to the lectern to receive his Icebreaker ribbon. Thank you very much. I can't wait to hear your next speech. That was awesome. Marty is our latest member as well, and we look forward to your Icebreakers soon, and you two will be having your name tags very shortly with your name on it. All right. We are conducting a survey. I've received 5 responses. Who received the email? Okay. I'm going to send another reminder. It's quick 10 questions, so it'll take you a couple minutes to complete. It's just the pulse of our club, what you like, what you don't like, recommendations, so it's important that we get everybody's feedback. So look for, I'll send a reminder link. I'd like to get everybody to respond so I can recap it and let you know by the end of this month our findings and what everybody's thinking about our club. We have the area contest coming up on September 27th. We have 3 of our members competing. 4. Well, Stephen, you're competing as another area, but we'll be ultimately competing in the division contest. Well, just area contest?
The area I'm competing is 33 in Division C, so if I...
Okay. So if you win that, then we'll see you in the division. All right, so he's the division, right? Right?
Different division.
Oh, different division, all right. Well, anyway, Stephen's doing his thing in a different area. For our group, we've got Sam and Jorge competing in the evaluation contest on September 27th. It's here in Lake Mary, the Verizon Building on International. This will be an opportunity for you who haven't participated in an area contest to see the guys in action. And we have Martin, who's going to compete in the humorous contest. And Dana is
He was second place.
2 for each contest?
Yes.
So we
Oh,
have
Dana.
Really? 2.
Oh, okay, so both of
Yes,
them.
you get to
I
compete.
did it. I'm telling you.
And if either of them can't, then Samuel and the other speaker.
Oh, dang. All right, well, then I expect every member to be at the area contest. It's in Lake Mary, Sunday 2 to 4 at the Verizon Building. Come on, we usually only get a few people to show up. We have 4 guys competing. We need to be there.
What time is it?
It is 2 to 4 on September 27th. Whoever wins that contest, or those contests, will then go to division, which is October 10th, I believe.
That's a Sunday, right?
October 11th. Good God. I'll get a flyer out next week. So that's the great stuff there. Dues are due. Ernst sent an email reminder. If you haven't paid, please pay. We have to have it paid by the 1st of October, so let's get those in. I think we're about halfway there. I think that's it. Thanks, everybody.
Schedule.
Oh.
Schedule. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, let's hurry around.
I have a minute. All right, next week we have the 22nd. We have Mac as Toastmaster. Martin, Kerri, and Alexandra are speaking. We'll need to confirm with Martin. Sam is our table topic. Sam, you going to be here next week?
Right.
All right, your table topics. Dana, your general evaluator. Will you be here next week?
Yeah.
All right. I'm evaluating. Stephanie and Stephen are evaluators. Ernst, you're the odd counter. Hottie is the grammarian. And James, you are timer. All right, that's it. Everybody, great meeting. We'll see you next week.